You've just been sitting there in silence while I've tried to figure out what I'm doing for the past 10 minutes. Oh, my face. That's fine. Oh, I'll probably leave this live stream and go do another one. Ugh. Or I could leave it and just, I don't know, cut out that first part. Ugh. I could probably just do that. And the thing, I'll figure it out later. Oh, shit. I have audio coming through my phone. My face. Sorry. I had an itch. Eek. Sometimes my eyes just itch. I don't want the light in the background to be on, because then you're just going to be looking at that background light. I'd feel bad about that, so I'm trying to keep you from having to look at that background light. Keep having to clean my glasses. That's why I need to wear contact lenses. Not because my eyes are messed up. Ugh. I have to put an announcement and tell everyone the stream's starting. It's been frustrating. Everything's been chaos. I don't know what I'm doing. No. Okay. Get my headphones on so I can hear what's happening, because right now I can't. So, hopefully everything's fine. That would suck if it wasn't. Alright. Just the chaos of trying to live stream. Sorry about all the microphone movements as I try to get this set up properly. Okay. Whoa. Don't do that. Toss my phone. Ugh, sorry. Moving around, trying to get adjusted. Are my audio settings still the same? It should be. Can you sit over there, away from me a little bit? Just trying not to nudge you constantly. That would be great. If I could keep from doing that, it'd be fantastic. Okay, can you stop? Can you go that way? That would be great. Actually, you know what? I can figure this out. Hang on. If I can give me 2 seconds while I figure things out. I think that's fine. That should be okay. Da-na-na-na. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to get everything set up properly. It took me 20 minutes. That's not 10 minutes. That's worse. Oh, man. Luckily, I'm the only one looking at this, so that's great. Let's close that up. We don't need that on. Okay. This has been a mess. It's just a mess of an afternoon of me trying to figure things out. I have to notify everyone. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Let's turn that down a little bit, because I don't want to hear myself that clearly. So that would suck. I'm just trying to get the audio set up so that it's not deafening. Okay. Actually, this is going to suck. I'm going to have to do something real fast, because this is going to suck. Let's get some music up, so that we're not just sitting here in silence for ages. I'm in the wrong account. Switch. Ick. Oof. Go here if you could. I'd appreciate it. I could go here. Probably will go here. Blop. So loud. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this up so that I can actually hear what I'm saying. Now we're gonna try and turn... No, stop. Okay. I think that's fine. So, I can hear myself talking, and you can hear me talking. So it should be fine. I should be alright. Let's try and get ourselves situated properly so it's not weird and we're not doing something strange. I'm gonna scoop you. You're going to move. You're going to stay there, but I'm going to move you so I don't have to deal with it as much. Okay, yeah, stop being in the way. I'd appreciate it. Okay. I'm trying to, like, figure out how to arrange things. Don't do that. That would suck. Okay, stop it. Stop it. I want things to be arranged so that I can actually, like, do things with ease and it not be super complicated and difficult to deal with. Oof, don't do that. Stop. Okay. You know what? I can actually probably just sit here beside my microphone like this. I have to scoot things around so that I can actually see what's happening. Don't do that. No, I want, no. Hey, oh, okay. I can still see it on here, but it's not as good. I'd like it if I could just look at the chat by itself. That would be great, but I can't do that because it doesn't want me to do that. So, oh well. Hopefully this sounds okay. I'm not sure if it does. We'll see, I guess. Don't do that. Stop it. Why do you do these things? Why do you hate me, phone? What's the percentage? It's at 79%. It'll be fine. Okay. Hopefully, I won't have to worry about having to charge my phone. Okay. Now, I'm gonna turn down my audio on my end so that I don't have to listen to it quite as much. I'm trying to get myself situated here so that I can actually do things. So that would be great. Would it be better if I had that away? I feel like it would get dark. Dab. No, I don't know what's happening right now. I don't. This is delving into way more chaos than there needs to be. Okay. This should be fine. I'm probably fine. It's probably okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and announce the stream starting now. And hopefully I can just do that and it's not gonna be a problem. Okay. I'm also gonna restart this again. Heck. Okay. Yeah, and I think that that should be fine in the background for everybody. I'm so sorry. Okay. Live stream started. It's on YouTube today. Just to see if we like it. Okay, now we have to go to Tumblr, where we actually announce these things normally. And tell people. Get away. Oop. Did put it on the other one. Okay, doop. Another one. Okay. Oh. A person. Hi. Hello. Why am I typing? I don't need to type into the chat. What's wrong with me? Hello, person. I just noticed that you commented on there. How are you? How's your day been? Hopefully better than mine. It's been a day. Man, it's been weird. It's been alright. I put on my contact lenses today. That was uncomfortable, but cool, I guess, because I put on my contact lenses, which I haven't done in a while, but I need to, because it's for my health. So, and I've been messing around on Minecraft for hours, watching stuff on Minecraft for hours, and also trying to make Streamlabs work. It's been a day. But, yep. Friday stream. Woot. Just trying to, like, put the alert up so that people know that I'm streaming now. I need a link. It's so difficult to do things. I don't want to do that. No. No, stop. Ugh. Okay. Will you do the magical link thing that the other thing usually does? No? Okay. That's fine. Let's just put the link there, because I don't want to have to do that. Paste. Add link. Thanks. Just make it red. Blop. Post. Great. The announcement's up, so people will know now, so that's nice. What is up on my computer? Oh, it's that. Right, so it shouldn't be that. So there's actually 2 other people who are here. That's interesting. By the way, if you're on here and I know you and you have a different name from what you usually have as a username on things, then please tell me who you are so that I know who you are. Otherwise, I won't know who you are. Just in case, because I don't know who's who on most things, and hopefully I'll figure it out, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to keep you here so that I can see what's happening on the chat. Okay. I hope things are working just fine with this entire thing. I don't know if it is or not. It's really hard to say. I wish there was like an overlay on this so that I could actually see. I thought so. Hello, friend. Okay. Man. Life is hard. I don't know what's happening. This is such a bad stream. Okay. We're just gonna... I'm just gonna go back to what I was doing. Hello. Yeah, hello. Look, you can see your chat in the corner of the screen. I'm like super pleased. I was messing around with Streamlabs for a while, just trying to get like notifications and stuff set up. Some people would beg to differ. I'm having some problems. I'm not doing the best with this. Wait, can I set my phone up in a place where I can actually like look at it? Can you sit like here or something, or like over here? Would be great. Stay there. Stay. Okay, I can see you from there. Does it get in the way of what I'm doing in here? Nope, not really. Fantastic. Okay, that's great. So let's go back here. So I'm gonna go back to what I was doing originally, which is messing around and playing Minecraft. Which button is it? Is it this one? Yeah, it's that one. Okay. I'm trying to like figure out how things work. Wait, I need to... Wait, don't do that. No, wait, do that. I'm so confused. Okay. So, oh, you see everything that I'm doing. It doesn't even matter. Why am I bothering? Okay, you're just gonna see what I'm messing around with while I try and make things work. I don't want you there. Scoot. I don't want you there. Okay, cool. Just above the taskbar, because otherwise comments will be right there, and that's slightly in the way of things, and that's not what I wanted. Okay. That should be fine. Going back to live. Okay. Great. Awesome. No, don't do that. Stop it. Go away. Okay. Things are back. Okay. Things are fine. It's raining. Why is it raining? Okay. So, plan for the stream today. Talk about whatever. Listen to the soundtrack for Natsume's Book of Friends, because it's a great soundtrack, and work on the adventure map that I'm making in Minecraft, because I can, and it's going to take me forever to eventually make this wall that I'm making. So yeah, that's the plan for the day, unless anyone wants me to do something else. like, specific, I don't know, play a different game or talk about a specific thing. Speaking of talking about specific things, if you want me to talk about something, please tell me, because otherwise I don't have anything else to talk about. But yeah, I can show you the stuff that I've made for this adventure map if you want. That'll be neat. I'm kind of proud of it. I think it's cool. I'm looking at the phone like I'm looking at you by looking at the phone. But looking at my phone is not looking at you. Looking at my phone is looking at the chat. So it's technically you, but not you. I'm so... No. Lag. Why? Oh, why do I have this up so far? That's why. Okay. Let's turn that down to 10. I only want 10 chunks. We don't need any further than that. Wait, also though. Not video settings, we want music and sounds. Yeah, we don't really need that to be up, I guess. That's a good point. Fine. Alright, we'll turn that back down. We don't need it to be up. You aren't going to have to hear anything that's happening in the game anyways. Nothing's really going on that you need to audibly hear. Okay, so this is an entire wall that I'm going to eventually build one day, by the way. Like, it took me ages. I've just been wandering through the countryside, creating a wall. Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to snort. I'm always going to apologize for it, but I'm always going to end up snorting just because that's what ends up happening. Okay, so I'll just show you around. Like, there are generated structures in here, so this is like a generated structure that's just kind of chilling out here and everything. Please don't do that. I'd appreciate it if you did not. I mean, fine. You just sit and do you, and please don't do anything else, like, literally. So, yeah, the generated structures and stuff like that well and everything, and I'm gonna mess around with them so that they're more personalized and stuff. There's like a village over there and everything, and it's within the walls. So this is the entire wall. I'm gonna lead you around and show you the stuff here. But yeah, we didn't finish talking about Mackenzie, and I don't remember what I stopped, like, talking about last time. Do you remember? 'Cause I don't. It was, when did I end up getting cut off? Because I remember I was talking about all of that. I guess the point being of Mackenzie was taking pieces of Virgil, and I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but Mackenzie was taking pieces of Virgil because Anne ended up dying the same way that Virgil did. He was protecting Mackenzie, so he gave up his life to, yeah, I didn't stop, the stream did, but yeah, Mackenzie, like, almost died, like how Thomas did with the car crash, but it was a different situation, and Ansley saved him by fading away like Virgil did, and it layers into 2, this wall. It'll eventually layer into 4 layers, because I want to make a thing in the middle. It might, or I'll just leave it as 2. I'm not entirely sure. I'm uncertain. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so what ended up happening was Ansley died. By the way, this is this giant wall, real quick, interrupting storytelling, just to show you this huge wall that I built, and it took forever to make. There's like this little alcove here where people can, like, chill out there, the guards and everything, and then all the way up here is the very top of the wall. That was just so I could see the world limit. It's there for now so that I can still keep track of it, but here is the actual, like, top of the wall and where it's gonna be. Yeah. I took ages making this wall. It took a long time, and it's going to be the entire wall. Like, you saw where I just came from, and it keeps going in that direction too. That is the entire wall. That's what it's gonna look like. It's all gonna be like this, layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. It took me hours just to make this part. It was exhausting. Anyways, real quick before I do all the storytelling, we can do the storytelling while I'm working on the Wall of Doom. But for now, I'll show you, like, so the basic story of this adventure map is that you're going to start over here, outside of the wall. You're going to start outside of the wall, but you're going to be expected to come into the wall. That, or, like, I think you're either in the wall or you're here, was my plan. Like, you'll maybe start here. I'm going to make, like, a little alcove there, and you'll be in a cave, and you'll basically wake up inside of, like, a crystal. Thank you. I appreciate it. I have a lot of patience. I was watching a lot of Yogscast videos while just building that wall. It took a long time. I have to do it behind it too. I have to do it all twice. I have to do the entire thing. It's gonna take a long time, but I'm willing to do it because it's gonna be worth it, I swear. It was worth it when I finished this. It's really cool looking. I like it. It's gonna be epic when it gets to the entire wall. But anyways, yeah, so there's gonna be a cave over here. And you start in the cave. And it's basically like you just woke up from inside this crystal thing, and then you come out of the cave and you go over here. And there are so many mobs. Why are there so many mobs out here right now? But you come out, and there will be like a vague pathway that leads you over to here, which is the entrance to Hubtown. Welcome to Hubtown. And this land has been quarantined by the PFIS. Stay away, with these flags and everything. And then you'll be expected to find a way in. You're not going to be in adventure mode when this happens. I want this to be like an open world RPG. Like as much as natural Minecraft as possible, but just with a lot of adventurous stuff in it. So you can break in, like very easily. You can get supplies and you can get blocks and you can just get inside past this bit of obsidian. And you'll see the entire town is just overrun with like cobwebs and vines. And the farms are messed up and the inside of houses are messed up. And you'll find inside of buildings and around town will be these weird glass structures. And these glass structures are supposed to be basically like force fields that have been placed around all of these zombie villagers. Zombie villagers who have names, by the way. So if you look in there, that one's Luffy. And in this one, that one's Nami. There's references in a lot of these. I made references because I'm weird and I thought it'd be funny. So a lot of them are just around. You got all these zombie villagers with names that are just in these weird little boxes. And you'll come over here, and there's a normal zombie over there, ignore him, but you'll see these guys over here in this little area by this weird, like, ball of light being held by a bunch of redstone, and this guy on a pedestal. So if you look inside of each one, it's Savior Laura, this is Savior Marcus, this one is Savior Zarkel, I think? Yeah, Savior Zarkel, and Savior Casa? Yeah, Casa. And then up here on this pedestal is Mayor Tootie. And basically, like, there's gonna be signs and stuff in books and things that you could read, so you can decide, like, if you want to see the quests that are happening. Because there's, like, I want this to remain as open as possible. You can decide to do quest lines and stories and stuff and see what's actually happening in the world, or you can just wander around. You can kill all of the zombie villagers, not worrying about why they're in these weird little tubes. You can, like, loot the town and then you can leave. Or you can come over here and you can see what's going on with all the quests, and you can try and, like, save the village, basically. The point is that you're going to be given a quest of, like, figuring out what happened here, what this orb was, why they're all in these tubes, why they're all zombies, what happened, and why the town is abandoned and quarantined and everything. And you'll find that the quest sends you up there. So you have to come over here to this pathway and past this pathway where there's the similar sort of like this land has been quarantined by the Piffus and stay away and everything, and the entrance to Hubtown. And over here is Hub House, which is the house on the hill over there. And the Walls Road, which is a road that follows the entirety of the wall. It'll just go on and on and on, following the wall all around until it reaches all the way back around. So, but you have to go, in order to finish this part of this, like, specific quest, you go over to this pathway, you follow it, you come up here, and hopefully you'll be doing this at night, because if you do it at night, then, if I do this, time set midnight, then these guys will spawn on top of these trees. I put a lot of spawners, so there's going to be phantoms that are spawned nearby as you walk past, and they'll just attack you as you try and get past here. You'll have to fight the phantoms and try and, like, run past them to reach this building. Whether you come, like, only if you come here at night, though. And you can, like, kill the spawners if you can find the spawners, but you have to find them first. So you come over here. Here's Hub House. This is a mailbox, by the way. And over here they have, like, these doors. You open the doors with the switch. You come inside. It looks normal. It's this weird thing. There's a cage with a staircase on it. There's a bunch of chests. And there are some spawners over here. And if we give them a minute, then they will start working, and you'll find Vindicators and Evokers wandering through here. They're the mobs that you find in woodland mansions. and they'll start appearing and they'll start attacking you, and you have to destroy all of the spawners that are set up around. There's a lot of them, so you end up with a lot of these guys spawning, because this is supposed to be a super difficult sort of like dungeon thing that happens early on in the game. Because the thing is, like, this is survival Minecraft. You play this in survival Minecraft, so you're allowed to make equipment, like, in whatever way you want. And I think I'll give you starting equipment. Like, you won't come in here completely naked. I'll give you some armor and some weapons and stuff that you can start off with. So you can come in here and you can fight your way through. And if you manage to succeed, there is a ton of loot. Because that's the thing, that, like, this entire place is filled with so much stuff. It is obnoxiously full of stuff. I made it so that it's obnoxiously full of stuff. There's, like, a crap ton of ender pearls, there's TNT, there's food of all kinds, there's so many arrows, there's so much, like, so many potions and everything. There's a ton of diamonds and emeralds and redstone and gold and, woof, coal and iron and everything. There's just a ton of stuff. And if you look in these chests, they're all personalized, because the way that I want to set this up... Thank you. I'm glad that you appreciate all the stuff that I did. So, if you go in here, these are the colored chests, and they're supposed to be personalized chests, because I want it to be basically, like, a multiplayer thing where, like, you have a specific set of things. And I'm going to do that at the beginning of the game as well. Like, you have a specific choice thing. I want you to start off kind of more like you're in a room, and you are given, like, a select amount of doors that are surrounded by these different colors. And you have to decide which door you go through, and that gives you, like, starting equipment and, like, a specific story to go through that's different than all the other ones. So, in each of these chests, and that's just, like, this is, like, a reference to my plan to do that, but in each of these chests is, like, a set of colored stuff, so you get, like, swiftness arrows, and water-breathing arrows, and night vision arrows, I think, yeah, night vision arrows, blue wool, ice, lapis, some diamonds, a blue bed, and a water bucket. In this one, no, don't do that, stop it. You get some pufferfish, you get some golden apples, you get some spectral arrows, a clock, another yellow bed, some wool, some sponges, and gold and stuff. And, fucking stop. Okay, I'm just gonna take that out of my inventory and quit it. So, in here you get, like, a ton of stuff that's, like, black and white. You get coal, you get snow, you get a bed somewhere, that bed, you get some arrows of slow falling, you get some feathers and stuff. In here, you get green things. In here, you get red things. Over here, you can get orange things. Over here, you get pink things. Over here, you get gray things. Over here, you get brown stuff. And over here, you get purple things. So, these are the personalized chests, and if you go upstairs, then you can see that the personalized chests match all of the rooms that are up here. There's the gray room. And you get, like, shulker boxes. The idea is that you're allowed to stay in here. This is the hub house. So if you play this basically on, like, a multiplayer thing, and you have a bunch of people play with you, then you all go to the same world, but you get, like, different quests, basically. Like, I don't know. I want to arrange it so that it's done properly. But this is, like, the gray room. Every room is kind of the same, but it's arranged slightly differently. This is the pink room. You get pink stuff. Over here is the orange room. You get orange things. Over here is the red room. You get red stuff. Over here is the green room, I think. Yeah, the green room. Stop it. You get green stuff. And, like, in some of these rooms, you find some of the spawners. And, like, you have to destroy all of the spawners so that you can stay here safely. Sorry. The yellow room. The blue room. I ate not that long ago, sorry. The purple room, which is my personal favorite. I really like the purple room. The brown room. And all that. But also, if you notice, like, I have the subtitles over in the corner, and some of it's saying zombie villager groans. And the reason why is because you can see up there's a hole there. Yep, cacti. Lots of cacti, little, like, bits inside of the green room and everything. But if you go up here, there's this hole up here, and I left it as, like, a hint. If you go up here, there's this secret area. And if you turn on all the lights, you can really see what's in this secret area, which is a ton of stuff. Basically, it's, like, if you go over here, there's an enchanting table with, like, books all around it and, like, this weird sort of altar structure. And there's this, it's one of the tubes, but it's like a failed version of the tube. Prickly babbies. But it's a failed version of the tube where some spawners are still in, and it's like questionable. I think I might get rid of the spawners that are there and just put a zombie villager in it. But it's going to be like a weird thing. I don't know. I'm not sure about this tube, but I was thinking of just leaving the tube there. So there's that tube there, and it's like weird as to why this tube is there in the first place. It's like a hint, like the person here was working on making the tubes and they made the tubes in the first place. Over here, you can find like chests with loot in them. There's a bunch of potion making stuff. There's a bunch of random like buckets of stuff. There's a ton of spawn eggs in there. It's at least one of every single type of spawn egg in the game. So it's like, it's definitely worth it to come in here because then you could just mess around with stuff. But you find all of those like spawn eggs that are in there. Why are these gone? That's moderately frustrating. Stop it. Maybe it's because there's lava in there. No, don't. Stop it. Ick. That are some things breaking all of my stuff. Not that it's really that big of a problem. Is that catching them on fire? It might be. Something might be setting that on fire. This might be setting things on fire. Well. Oh well. Keeping with the aesthetic, we can just fix it later. But yeah, and over here, it's basically like, this is supposed to be like a secret lab, basically. You come up here and there's this secret lab inside of like the attic. And there's these weird little tests with these tubes, except there's anvils on top, and it's basically like to see what happens when you drop anvils onto various things, like with water and everything, and if you drop them into mobs, which is why there's a dispenser here. If you look in it, there's eggs in there. There's a ton of anvils that shows that they've been like doing it for a while with a bunch of other anvils. There's a ton of enchanted stuff that's like really good OP equipment. And over here, there's like the alchemy area, basically. Yeah, I should probably get rid of the spawners that are in the middle. There's too many guys up here. But yeah. So it is like, this is supposed to be a huge boss thing that's supposed to be super difficult. Turn that off again. Yuck. But I need to like mess around with stuff so that it's properly structured exactly the way that I want it to be. Sorry. But yeah, so this is so far all of the actual, like, proper map that's been done. Past that, I've just been doing the wall. Although I do plan on, close that. There's a village that's over this way. And, like, there was villages that I passed by earlier in that temple and everything. And I want to personalize all of the, like, naturally generated structures like I did there. That village was there before I came around, and I just kind of personalized it so that it had a wall and it was like set up with everything. And over here there's a village right next to the wall, and I want to set that up so that it's like done properly the way that I want it to be done and everything. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I want to get it all set up so that it's nice and structured and it looks like a big open world adventure map, and hopefully it'll be cool looking later. But yeah, so that's the adventure map. I just thought I'd show you that real fast. Now I'm gonna get to working on this wall and talking about stuff and everything like that. Just take a second real quick though. I'm gonna sip some water. Hang on. I'm trying not to do it too close to everything. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. But yeah, I've been working on this for a while now. And I'm quite proud of everything that I've done so far. I think it's pretty cool. And it's been fun just to like make everything. Even just making this wall has been pretty neat. So. But yeah, so the stuff with Mackenzie and everything, right? So Mackenzie ended up taking the pieces from Virgil because of Ansley. Ansley died. And Mackenzie wanted Ansley back, so he figured, like, I have to find a solution, and he was researching into bringing back, sides after they'd faded and everything, and he'd been looking into it, a lot like how Logan was when Virgil first died. He was trying to figure out just any sort of way of bringing him back, and the only way he could think of was to maybe, like, use the magic of another side to bring back the previous one. But the problem was he didn't have any other sides. Mackenzie is like a dreamwalker and everything, and I mentioned that last time, but I don't know if I mentioned it while you were there to listen. But Mackenzie is a dreamwalker. Ooh, This biome's over here. Do I want to include this biome? I don't know. But Mackenzie's a dream walker, and that basically means that he can go into, like, people's thoughts, into people's dreams. He can go into people's mind palaces and everything. I did mention it. Okay, cool. So, yeah, he can do all that. He's a dream walker and everything, and that means he had, like, an idea that maybe if he takes someone, like, if he takes the magic from another side, from, like, someone else's side, then he can, like, bring someone in. And he couldn't try and use one of his own to try and do something because he doesn't have another one. He only had Ansley. Like, he was never powerful enough as a manifester to create more than one side. So he only ever had Ansley. And he couldn't think of any other way of bringing Ansley back. So he figured, like, if I steal someone else's side, then I can do this. And right as he was, like, trying to figure out how exactly he would go about, like, really doing this, that was when, oh, man, everyone's looking at the romance post from before. I don't know why. But he ended up, like, seeing, because I mentioned in A Knight's Solemn Duty that people had been watching when Virgil gave up his life for Thomas, and Mackenzie saw that. Like, it was on the news, people knew about it, it was a very public thing. Like, also, Thomas is a pretty, like, famous person. People know about Thomas. People are, like, fans of Thomas. People know about him and all of the sides in this universe. So, Mackenzie, like, sees it on the news and everything, and he finds out about the fact that Thomas lost a side, and he's just like, I might be able to use this. Like, he thinks, like, just sympathetic stuff and everything at the beginning, but then Virgil comes back, and everyone knows that Virgil came back, because, like, he's back, and everyone notices that there's, like, Virgil is there again. And when Mackenzie finds out, he thinks that this is, like, his opportunity to maybe, like, look into it more. And it gets, like, even worse, kind of, because eventually Virgil dies again, and he ends up coming back again. And Mackenzie keeps, like, an eye out, a very close eye out, so that he can be there if anything ever happens, and he can know when stuff happens and everything. And eventually he finds out how to go into the Mind Palace, the Mindscape, and take pieces of Virgil every time he dies. Basically, like, in the way that works is that Mackenzie connects to Virgil through his dreams, and that allows him to, like, have a closer connection to Virgil. But, funnily enough, I think that I'm going to make this basically be the thing that kind of instigates, like, Patton from the other universe, in the Will universe, why he ends up, like, seeing visions of Cap universe Virgil, and why it ends up connecting the two universes. Because I want it to be, like, he ends up accessing Patton first on accident, and he's like, that's not the right one, so he ends up going for Virgil instead afterwards, but he ends up, like, connecting to Patton first, so that ends up creating this weird connection to the other universe's Patton that causes, like, a lot of weird stuff to happen in that. But basically, he connects to Virgil, finally, and he ends up, like, keeping an eye out, and whenever Virgil dies, he feels it, and he notices it, and he takes, like, a piece of him every time. He keeps an eye out on them. He's basically stalking Thomas, and he actually physically goes and, like, sees him when it happens, and takes, like, the pieces from Virgil physically. Like, he actually uses something, probably, to absorb Virgil and, like, his essence that, like, fades off. You know, it fades off in, like, the flowers and everything at the end? When Virgil dies, the flowers, like, float off into the sky and everything. And that's his magic actually just dispersing. Like, that's what that is. That's what that actually is. And Mackenzie uses that to his advantage by actually, like, taking the flowers. And it's the way that he ends up taking pieces of Virgil. And eventually that leads to, like, Virgil becoming unstable, and then everything that happens in When Starlight Fades happens because of that. And eventually, like, after that happens, Virgil, like, dies. And the way that he dies in When Starlight Fades, I don't know if I mentioned this, but in When Starlight Fades, he ends up dying because he hurts Thomas, and then, like, he has to give up his life because he basically almost killed Thomas, and they expect him to come back and to deal with it afterwards, but that's not what happens. Instead, Virgil just, like, is gone and doesn't come back, and they have to, like, try and find him again, and this leads to them going and trying to take the Oracle Flower from the arena thing for sides, which is what is in the, like, main storyline for A Knight's Unpaid Vigilance in the Will universe, is that Virgil ends up going to go and fight in the arena thing. And they end up fighting in the arena in the Cap universe too, but for, like, to get the Oracle Flower so that they can bring Virgil back, because they're like, if we wish on the Oracle Flower for Virgil to be back and to be safe and everything, then we can have Virgil back, and it won't be a problem. So, but meanwhile, Virgil has been, like, manifested within Mackenzie's mindscape. So he's in there with Mackenzie now, and Mackenzie ends up telling him everything and, like, why he's there, and he apologizes because he was just like, I thought that maybe I could take the magic and use it for Ansley, and I'm sorry that I basically tried to kill you, but I really just wanted to bring my side back. And Virgil, like, as messed up as it was, Virgil is, like, understanding, because he's like, legit, I'd probably do similar things in order to bring back, like, Thomas or one of the other sides if something like that were to happen. So Virgil doesn't mind, and he ends up being sympathetic, and he actually offers to help Mackenzie bring Ansley back a different way. And as they're trying to, like, figure out what they're gonna do, because Mackenzie offers to take Virgil back home, actually, like, after he summons him and creates him again, he offers to bring him back to Thomas and to reconnect them again, because Virgil comes back as Vigilance, not as normal Virgil, but he comes back as Vigilance because he's now Mackenzie's actual side. Mackenzie took his magic and actually basically just did the shifting of manifestors thing that they do in the Will universe in the first chapter of A Knight's Unpaid Vigilance, or, yeah, something, I don't know. I forget titles, it's been a little bit since I looked at them, but, yeah, so Virgil ends up staying with Mackenzie, and Mackenzie ends up, like, offering to take him back, but Virgil says, like, no, it's fine, I'll stay with you, at least until I can help you get Ansley back. And Mackenzie is really grateful, and they start trying to think of, like, ways to bring back Anne, and eventually they see the advertisement that says that the reward for winning in the arena is the Oracle Flower. And Virgil says, like, he can totally win in the arena, and they'll get the Oracle Flower that way. So they end up entering into the arena, but also Thomas and the others go into the arena, and at the very end of it all, they see each other, and they actually have to fight each other, because Thomas and everything, they made it to the very last round, and so did Virgil. So they end up having to fight each other, like they do in the Will universe. And it's like, for a while, they think, because they saw him turn into Vigilance in When Starlight Fades, before he comes back to himself, Virgil is just a really warped version of Vigilance, because in the Will universe, when Vigilance, I don't know if I mentioned this, but in the Will universe, when Vigilance eventually ends up fighting all of the others, he ends up kind of losing his mind, because the way that the fight goes is that he's fighting Patton. At the very end of it all, he has to fight Patton, because the others can't fight him. Like, they try, but Virgil ends up taking down, like, Roman, Logan, and Deceit. Like, easily. And eventually Patton, who didn't want to fight Virgil, but now, like, has to, because they're fighting him in the arena in the Will universe because they want to bring Anxiety back. And Thomas decides that he wants to go and get Anxiety back, like, through force. He finds out that they're that they're going to be in the arena and everything. He knows that that's what's going to happen. So Thomas ends up finding Virgil's, like, he goes into the Nightmare Plane because, like, now it's open and Anxiety's not there to stop anyone from going in. So he goes in and he finds out, like, Anxiety's name was Virgil, and that he was totally right. Thomas was right that anxiety actually did care about all of them and was just trying to protect them by being mean. So he ends up deciding he's going to find a way to get Virgil back. So he contacts Mackenzie, and Mackenzie offers, like, a deal. Basically, if Thomas enters into the arena fight and beats Mackenzie, then he's allowed to take Virgil back. Like, that's the deal that they strike, and Thomas is, like, he goes for it because he's like, I don't have anything else to lose, this doesn't take anything away from me, and all I can do is just hope that this works out so that I can get anxiety back. So he says yes to it, the deal is made, and they eventually go into the fight, and, like, they last until the last round until they have to fight each other, and Patton ends up having to fight Virgil himself, because, for one, Patton actually finds out about the journal alongside Thomas, because he missed anxiety a lot more than the others did, just because, like, of his regrets and his dreams and his wants to be friends with anxiety from the beginning. Sorry. So he ends up, like, wanting to bring anxiety back just as much as Thomas does. But alongside that, an interesting thing about Patton, and this is in all of the universes, and why I mentioned in that post of, like, Patton ends up being the one that kills Virgil in a lot of the different universes, and the reason why is because Patton is, like, the only one who is of equal strength to Virgil. Out of all of the sides, it's basically, like, they are the emotional ones. They're the emotional sides. They take care of all of Thomas's emotions and everything. And I say that as a relevant thing because emotions are very strong with most people, and Thomas is a very emotional being, I feel. He's also a very creative person, which is why, like, Roman is usually the one that's supposed to be the second in command when it comes to protecting Thomas, but when it comes down to it, the ones who have the most strength are the emotions when it comes to Thomas and, like, just protecting him as a whole, and that's why Virgil and Patton are actually equivalents of each other with, like, their abilities and with their strengths and weaknesses. Virgil and Patton are capable of bringing each other down, and, like, they're the only ones who can do that. They are the, like, complete opposite forces of each other. The positive and the negative emotions mixed together, like, that's what they are. They are the two opposing forces, and that's why when they enter the arena, the only one who can actually face Virgil properly is Patton, because the others aren't strong enough to do it, and, like, it's left to just Patton doing it. So everyone fights Virgil, and they all lose. So it ends up being left to Patton, and Patton ends up fighting Virgil himself. He finally gives in, and he actually, like, starts fighting with him, and it's a really, like, close fight. Like, they're completely evenly matched. And Virgil isn't, like, really fighting Patton. Like, he doesn't seem to want to hurt any of them. Even with the others, he didn't really fight them until the last minute when, like, he kind of had to fight them and knew that they weren't going to give up. But then, like, Patton tries to face him, and that one really hurts because he really, like, he cares about all of them, but also he has, like, specific connections with just Patton. So Virgil, like, as much as he hates to have to do it, he fights with Patton, and the two face each other, and eventually, like, it continues to be this stalemate between the two, and no one's winning. So it just continues like that until finally, I think it's Virgil who finally makes the first move, because Patton says something, and that kind of, like, provokes Virgil to actually get upset. Like, he actually gets really upset, and it really hurts him, and he ends up, like, doing kind of what he did in the Cap universe, where he kind of, like, wraps around him with these little, like, shadow tentacles and everything, and he's not really hurting Patton, but he's keeping him, like, stuck in place, and he's planning on bringing him down still. And they're, like, arguing with each other, basically. Patton trying to tell Virgil to come back, and Virgil being like, no one wants me to come back anyways. There's no point in me coming back. I did this to make you guys happy. And he's basically just trying to, like, find a way to scare Patton into, like, letting him do what he thinks they want him to do. Because he's just like, you need to stop trying to force this. You need to let it go. You need to stop. You have to, like, let me win. And finally, Patton, in response, is just like, I can't let that happen. I can't let you do this. And right before Virgil can actually finally defeat Patton, Patton, like, goes at Virgil. And he, like, Patton knows Virgil's strengths and weaknesses. Even in this universe, he knows, like, very well what Virgil can handle and what he can't handle and what will actually work in taking him down and what won't. So Patton uses the only thing he knows will actually work, and that ends up being like he actually, like, he stabs Virgil is what ends up happening. Like, there's no other pleasant way of describing what ends up happening. It's just plain and simple, like, Patton ends up putting, like, he uses those orbs and everything. Those orbs made of basically, like, light that he can manipulate and control and, like, send flying and keep around him and everything that are basically indestructible. And when he's in distress, they get spiky and, like, really strong. And he uses those distressed spikes to just, like, skewer Virgil and keep him in place. And that's what, like, initiates that scene. That's why that scene in When Starlight Fades is actually, like, that scene is basically caused by our Virgil, the Cap Virgil, like, feeling the same things that the Will Universe Virgil felt in that moment. That's why he's in pain. That's why he's hearing Patton, like, going on and saying that he's sorry, that he didn't want things to come to this. He never wanted to hurt him, because he didn't. Patton never wanted to hurt Virgil, but he had to. And sorry, I'm gonna take a sip of water, but he had to in order to, like, stop the fight. And that's why it, like, leads to that point and everything, so. Sorry. So yeah, Patton ends up, like, stabbing Virgil during the fight, and Patton is still, like, trying to reason with him and trying to be like, I don't want this to happen, but I need you to listen to me, and I need you to understand that we just want to bring you back home. We want you to come back home. We want to be a family again. Just please come back home. Let me win this fight so that it can be over. But Virgil is determined to win the fight. And it's not because he wants to win the fight. It's not because of anything like that. It's not because of an obligation to Mackenzie. It's because of, like, him wanting to keep them happy. It's this weird, demented sort of thought of him being like, this is what they wanted, this is what they've always wanted, they're going to be happier without me, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to, like, he's going completely insane, and Virgil is just reasoning with himself in this really dumb sort of way that, like, has no actual proper thought process, that it's just, like, possessing him, basically, where he's just like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to. And so Virgil ends up, fighting against Patton anyways, so he tries to get away from the spikes, he tries to, like, go after Patton, so he ends up using his, like, tendrils to squeeze Patton like he does in When Starlight Fades. And that's what also brings up, like, that really demented version of him in that, like, story, because as he goes, like, more and more insane and he really starts to hurt Patton, that transfers over to the Cap Universe's Virgil when he has that vision and everything, and he genuinely wanted to hurt Patton because he's slowly going insane trying to do this, and he just wants his family to be happy, basically, is, like, that's the only reasoning that Virgil has left. He wants his family to be happy, and this is the only way for it to work. And, like, his demented thoughts reason that it's, like, the only way of doing this, the only way of, like, fixing the problem, of actually succeeding and making them happy, is by, like, defeating Patton. But he doesn't want to, which is why it takes so long for him to actually do anything. Because as he's, like, fighting this, Patton is still reasoning with him, and he doesn't want to hurt Patton, but he still wants to bring him down. And eventually, like, Patton does kind of reason with him, and eventually Virgil gives in, and he loses the fight. So it takes a while, but eventually Virgil, and, like, this is what leads to that entire, like, rant. Because the rant that's in When Starlight Fades that Virgil is hearing is being said by Patton. It's everything that's actually being said that you hear is from Patton. Patton is like screaming, is shouting, saying he doesn't want this, he never wanted anything like this. That's all from Patton's point of view, and it's what Virgil is hearing in the Will universe, and eventually it leads to him like screaming, saying not to do that, and the scream is like instigated basically by Virgil killing himself, like on the stage. And the thing with the sides is that they don't actually die from physical damages. They can only die properly if they fade away. Like, that's an actual death for a side. Like, past that, nothing else would really, like, work. Anything past that would just be, like, them having to reform, basically, as, like, not a new entity, but just in a new body. Because they are just made out of magic, so that's what, like, they would come back just in a new body after a while. It would just take a second for them to reform. So, Virgil physically kills himself. The thing, though, is that, like, it's still really messed up when it happens, because when a side does, like, die from physical damages, it really, really hurts, and it really messes with them. It takes a long time for them to reform, and sometimes it doesn't work. So it's still a risky thing to do, and it's still, like, terrifying. So it's still upset Patton a lot when it ends up happening, and when Virgil ends up dying in the Will universe for that reason. But yeah, so that's what ends up happening with that. And that's also kind of what leads to a lot of Mackenzie's own character developments. I wanted to mention the story originally. Wait, hang on, sorry. Give me a second. Okay. Jeez, I don't know if you heard that, but my parents are going on a bike ride. They wanted to inform me that before they left, which I appreciate, but I could have done with them texting me since I'm live streaming, but whatever. That's fine. Anyways, a lot of Mackenzie's development is reliant on the story stuff that happens in the Will universe and everything, so it's what brought me to creating Ansley in the first place, which is kind of what I wanted to explain originally, because that was your question originally, was kind of more stuff about, like, Ansley and Mackenzie and, like, their creation and everything. At least that's what I took from you asking a question in the first place, was that you wanted to know about that. So, when it comes to that, the reason why they ended up developing the personalities they developed, and the reason why Ansley was, like, created in the first place, was because, of this scene. I'd thought of the scene, and I'd changed it, basically, from, what it was originally to being, like, the scene where Virgil ends up dying, and it's because Patton ends up killing him, which is also what instigated me, like, realizing that I'd accidentally made it so that every universe had Virgil either dying because he wanted to save Thomas, or either, like, or being killed by Patton somehow. I realized this as I thought of that scene, that that was basically the way that Virgil actually died in every universe, was because of one of those two things happening. But, I need like a woodland mansion map, but, sorry, hang on. Villager and try and get something from them. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna have to do. That's fine. Alright. I wanna try and find a woodland mansion map. Okay, so, what was I saying? Sorry, I got distracted. Where are they? There you are. But yeah, so that story ended up creating Ansley specifically because of what happened afterwards. And oh shoot, it was not my intent. care about Virgil, and Virgil seems to really care about them, so he's just like, why did you leave in the first place then? And Virgil ends up answering basically by saying that, telling him the truth of, like, him having just, like, wanting to, like, make them happy. He thinks that that's what they wanted. So he tells Mackenzie that, and, like, gives him the honest answer of, like, I thought that that's what would make them happy. I left because I thought that they wanted me to leave. And they have a conversation about, like, stuff like this, and eventually it leads to, Virgil asking, why are you doing this? It leads to them having a conversation about why Virgil somehow knows that Mackenzie is actually a decent person. Which is a weird thing to imply, but what ends up, like, causing this is because Mackenzie keeps up this front of, like, being a terrible human being. And trying to make everyone, like, why do you just suddenly not exist anymore? What happened? Are you okay? No, come back. I need you. I need you to give me a woodland map. But, damn it. Come back. Wake up. I hate you. But, I keep getting distracted. It leads to them having this conversation that kind of, whoa. That was weird. Where, Virgil ends up, like, I think it's Mackenzie asks him how he knows, like, that he's nice and everything, and Virgil answers by telling him that he's actually had conversations with, Ansley before. Virgil's been talking to Ansley, like, this entire time, basically. And the reason why is because Ansley is still in, like, the mindscape with Mackenzie in this universe. Nothing happened to him. It's just that, like, he's kept a secret out of, like, fear, basically, because Mackenzie doesn't want anyone to know about Ansley, and doesn't want... Is it this way? It's in the same direction, but, Mackenzie keeps Ansley hidden because he doesn't want anyone to know about Ansley existing, because Ansley is like a soft being and he doesn't want anyone to hurt him. I don't know which direction this is. So he keeps him hidden in the mindscape in his own room, but Virgil ends up meeting Ansley anyways. And that leads to him, like, knowing about Mackenzie actually being a decent human being. So that's where I actually thought of Ansley in the first place, was because I had thought, not of, like, a specific being or anything, but I'd thought of there being a character that was basically, like, Mackenzie's one side that he still had, that he'd actually, like, created himself. So that was the origin of Ansley, specifically, and Mackenzie came after that because I wanted to actually give him, like, a proper personality and a proper name and everything, and a proper identity as a human, was from that specific scene. That, and because in the Librarians AU, Mackenzie had a completely different role. He was going to be the starter of the Librarian, like, thing. I don't know if I mentioned this. Tell me if I did mention any of these things. But, yeah, Mackenzie ended up, like, creating the library, basically. He ended up making it, and he ended up, like, recruiting all of the others. And originally he was going to create the others. Yeah, so I did that. I did mention that. So yeah, like, that's why Ansley and Mackenzie ended up getting created, was because of all that. And that's why in the Cap universe, Mackenzie ends up taking bits of Virgil. Specifically why that happens. Thank you, I'm glad that you like the story. But that is specifically why all this stuff happens, was because of, everything that I just described. So yeah, that's that story. I don't know which way this is. forgotten how maps work. If I go, it's supposed to go... Thank you. Thank you. I'd bow, but I'm sitting down. I want to know where there's a woodland mansion and a water guardian temple. I don't know how to find it, though. I don't know which way to search. Do the maps do the north and the south and everything? Nah, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let's scoot this over. I'm gonna move this over here for a second. So, if I do F3? Yeah, okay, so which way am I looking? That's north. Right? That's east. This is north. Okay. So... Oh, sorry. I should go south. And hopefully that will take me in the right direction. Okay, so let's hit F3 and we'll continue on our way. But yeah, that's the story of Mackenzie and Ansley and why they are who they are and why they were created and everything and all that. That took a lot of time to explain. Not that I really mind, I'm happy to talk about them just because they're great and I'm very proud of my two boys. And like what they've become and turned into and everything. Man, it's gonna take me a while to find this and then I'm gonna have to find my way all the way back. This is so far away. Why are these so far away? I hope I'm doing right by going in this direction. I hope this is what I think it means. Because if it's not, I'm gonna be very sad. Oh, jeez. I suppose... it would make more sense to go back and get the other ones. That's a really interesting question. And actually a really fun one. So... I'm taking this as basically like... So I'll do context of this universe, and maybe I'll do like little NPCs of them eventually when I actually build everything and I'll have them be around somewhere. But in the context of this universe and everything, I'm not sure. I'll think of that in a second. But as Minecraft like mobs, what creatures they would be, that's a fun question. I think Virgil would be an Enderman. I think that would be neat. I want Virgil to be an Enderman. I think that'd be funny with all of his teleporting and everything. And just like stealing blocks from people. I think that'd be funny. So yeah, Virgil would be an Enderman. That would also fit his color scheme. So, yeah. This would be Virgil. You know what, actually? Hang on. Let me see if I can do this real fast before he teleports away. Wait. I need to get... okay. This. And... tools. Take. Let's put this down. Plop. I don't know if I can do this. I hope that I can, but I don't know. Blip. Okay. No, come back. Hold still. Okay, wait. Okay. Stay in there. Okay. Dun, dun. Yeah, that's perfect. This is great. Okay. Dun-na-na-na. Wait, let me see if I can get some iron bars. Heck. Okay, oop. Doop. No, then he can't see it. I'll just leave it on these. Because then he can't move. Stay. Da-na-na-na. I need it to be, like, taller, maybe? I'll make it slightly taller. Meep, meep. Plop. There we go. So there's Virgil. Okay, and, Ooh. Actually. Okay, hang on. This is fun. I like this. This was a good idea. I'm glad that you mentioned this. So I think I know one for deceit. Keep in mind as well, I love, like, all of my boys, and this isn't even a bad thing. I would consider this a compliment because I quite enjoy this particular mob in the game. And I just think it fits him very well. Okay, so in this one, we're gonna put in deceit, and that's gonna be... Where are you? Boop. Okay, so let's name it. Okay. Let's switch this over to deceit. Can I spell it right? I think that's the right spelling. Tell me if I'm wrong. Is this the right spelling? Endermen are great. Easily my second favorite, though, is what deceit is. Boop. There's deceit. My snack boy is in there now. Now let's see. Who would Logan be? Let's look at the different mobs. No. No. Try to think. Patton could totally be an iron golem. I could totally see Patton as an iron golem. Hang on. Oh my god, wait, so... Also, because iron golems, you know, they end up doing, iron golems do the thing where they actually, yeah, they give flowers to villagers. And now that you remind me of that, that is actually completely perfect. That is exactly what I want. I'm just gonna leave this out in the wild and no one will know why it's here if anyone finds it. Okay, so let's do this. He needs a 2-area thing, because he needs room. So let's just do this. Oh, that's the wrong block. Doop. Doop, doop, doop. Doop, doop, doop. Okay. Yeah, Patton is definitely an iron golem. I'm glad that you reminded me of that, because that's perfect. Okay, so... Doop, doop. Put that there. Put that there. And now let's get the name tag for Patton. Patton. Okay. Doop. And I mean, I can't really think of anything that suits Patton as well as an iron golem does. Can I just spawn one in? That'd be great if I could. I can't, though. Unfortunate. Let's make one then. Let's see. I missed it. It's an iron block. And we need a pumpkin, which isn't decorative blocks. At least it's supposed to be in decorative blocks. Apparently it's not. I'm wrong. Whoops. There it is. It's weird that they have the carved ones now. Okay. Oh, damn it. I placed the wrong one. Eek. Put there. Stop it. Can't make him in there, so I have to shove him in there. Gently. Boop. Boop. And bam. Oh. It's too close to other structures. Eek. I think. Wait, or, how do I use nowadays? No. Okay. Does it have to be a jack-o'-lantern? No. Oh, that's weird. Did they change the recipe? What? What? These are iron blocks, right? Yeah. What? What? Now I'm confused. What's happening? I was doing that right, wasn't I? What's happening? I'm confused. Hello? Oh, there it is. Why didn't that work? That was weird. Okay, Patton. Hey. Patton, come here. Mar. Nudge, 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 nudge. This way. Go up there. Onto the hill. Go. No. Patton. Go up onto the hill. Come on, man. Wait. Okay, hang on. I need to... Let's see. Okay. Use this. That should help. Okay, come here. Up there. Up, 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 up. Go. In. Ta-da! There's Patton. Alright, cool. So now we have Virgil, Deceit, and Patton. Now what would Logan be? Right? I love iron golems. They're adorable. Okay, so what's Logan? I don't know why, but I weirdly feel like witches suit Logan the best. And I'm not sure why that is. What do you think suits Logan? Or maybe an ocelot. Ooh, specifically the tamed ocelots that look a specific way. Actually, that's a really good idea. That reminds me weirdly of Logan. Let's see. I don't know if I can get one that looks like that. Let's see. There's ocelot. Boop. Yeah. Wait, that's true to which one? I need fish. What do you think? Ocelots or witches? Yeah, okay. I think the ocelot works quite well. Okay. Have a fish. What? No, have fish. 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 Take fish. Can I tame you? Am I allowed to do that? Why do you have babies? I didn't click you that much. Take fish. Have fish. Fish. Do I have to be in survival? I might be. That's frustrating. Hang on. If I do have to be in survival, then blop. Okay. Salmon, maybe? Maybe. Let's look. Salmon. Nope. Alright, well. Might need to be in survival. So let's see. Do I still have the command in there? Which one's that one? That's survival. Blop. Now they run. No, come back. I have fish. I have fish. It was that before, right? Where it was basically like you had to... No, come back. Yeah, yes, 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 yes. No! Oh. Why? I've done nothing to you. Oh, don't... They're eating everything. Come back. Slowly. No? Ah, damn it, now come back. I need it to be a specific ocelot. Yes, it's that one. Oh, there's two. No, come back. I need a grown one. Why are you coming back? I own you already. No, adult, come here. Be grown. Eat. No. No, come back. Why? No, don't run. Come back. Come back! Take my fish. No. No! Why? Come back. Come back. Come here. Dang it. Can I make you grow? Maybe. Does this work? I think if you give them enough fish, they eventually grow faster, but I could be wrong. Grow. Be big. Yes! Yes. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. Nope. Now there's just cats everywhere. The struggle is super real. Alright, let's see. There. Okay. Alright. That's done. Let's rename you to Logan. Alright. Heck. Boop. Alright, Logan, come here. You follow. You follow. No, don't sit. Come here. Logan, come here. Yes. Okay, good. Now let's make the pen. Okay, I need you to actually come in here, Logan. Yeah, come here. No. Okay, you stay. Nope, Logan, come here. Logan! If I have you sit, then I can nudge you in there. Nudge, 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 nudge. Bam, bam. Okay. Actually, I don't... I'll leave it. It's fine. He sits, so I don't have to worry about him running away anyways. Donna! Bam. Okay. There. I suppose for this we can just do that. Plop. That way, all of them are like that. There, so now we have Virgil, Deceit, Patton, and Logan. Now we need Roman. Let's see. I feel bad about this, but I don't need all these cats here. Wow, that's sad. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You'll be a plague on these lands. I'm sorry. Okay. Bam. Roman. So. Roman's a lot more difficult. I don't know why, but I kind of want to make him a llama. I feel weirdly like that fits him. Maybe a parrot. Yeah, I feel like he might be a llama. You know what? I legit think that Roman would be a llama. Okay, well, let's see. Not have this as the time. Thanks. Time set. Noon. Okay. Now let's make a pen. Let's put him in here. Doop. Oop. Virgil is still stuck in there, right? Yes, he is. Good. Roman also spits at people that he doesn't like, which I think is pretty fitting. And he gets to wear all of the colorful fabrics, which we have to decide on which one he would end up being. Okay, so do we want him to be that one? Which kind of llama do we want him to be? Because there's different colors. There's that one, there's that one, there's that one, there's the other one that isn't that one, the brown one. There. Oh my god. These ones? The cream colored ones? So like these guys? I'll wait a second for the chat to catch up. Cool. Alright. So let's take this guy out. Bye, guy. I'm not hitting anyone else, am I? No. Okay, good. Now let's try and get... That's not the one that I want. Whoop. Bye. There we go. Perfect. Excellent. Now, time for a slaughter. Sorry. I'm sorry. We're sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wish you had a higher purpose, but you don't. Goodbye. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Goodbye forever. No, stay. Hold. Fucking. We're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. I'm sorry. Just setting them all on fire. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm sorry. Boop. Please die. It's for the greater good, I swear. I'm sorry. There's so much leather. Goodbye. 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 Bam. Heck. Seriously. Otherwise just it's gonna be like millions of llamas just wandering around into the wild and I can't have that happen. I'm sorry. You'll be a plague on this earth if I don't do this. I'm sorry. It was for the greater good, I swear. Okay. There we go. There we go. Roman. I think I need to make his wider. Okay. Not because he needs the space, but just because I want to give him the space, because then we can see him better. Doop. Plop. There we go. Ta-da! Alright, now we can put something on him. We get to decide what color carpet we want to put on him. Red, right? What's the red one look like? Oh, I have to tame him. Well. Nope. Ah. Oop. Whoa, stuck. Jeez. This is gonna take a second. Oh, there we go. Red carpet. Ooh, it's perfect. It's even gold. Oh, now I'm stuck. Bam. I think that fits him pretty well. It's red and gold and everything. Look at him. Stop looking into the wall. Roman. Hello. Yes, this was the perfect decision for Roman. Okay, so now we have Roman. Logan. Oh man, that cat really suits him. Patton. Adorable. Deceit. Very fitting. And Virgil. Also very fitting. I love this. I love that also we somehow magically managed to make, like, Deceit and Virgil the two darkest set sides in the, like, group as the two actual, like, aggressive mobs, while all of the other ones were all peaceful. I didn't even mean for this to happen, but it happened anyways, and I think that's pretty fitting. Should we find one for Thomas? Who would Thomas be? What would Thomas be? I feel like Thomas would just end up being a player, really. So I feel like we can't really pick a mob for him. Unless we can. I don't know. I don't even know if there is one that fits Thomas. Yeah, Thomas would probably just end up being, like, a villager, maybe? If only because he's interactable. So I don't think he'd be any other ones. Or maybe Thomas would be a wolf. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Thomas would end up being anything? Or do you think he'd just end up being like a player or something? I kind of want to give him one just because then he can actually be in here. I'm really pleased with this. No, that's cool. But yeah, do you think Thomas would be someone? Like, who do you think he'd be in here? I feel like the only one that would fit is either as, like, a player or a villager. That or, like, maybe a wolf. Because they, like, follow you around and everything. I don't know why, but that feels like the, like, friendliness of a wolf fits Thomas pretty well. But I'm not sure. What happens if I do this? No, not that. Eh. Nah, it just creates a random ocelot. Sad. Mackenzie and Ansley. That's a good question. You know, actually, I think, Mackenzie might be a zombie pigman. That's not to say a mean thing about it. I like zombie pigmen, and they're neat and all that, but I think it's because, like, they're technically not hostile mobs while also being hostile mobs, and I think that fits, like, Mackenzie pretty well. To be, like, technically a hostile mob while also not being hostile. So I'm gonna make him... Okay. Boop. Yeah. I feel like that fits pretty well. Yeah, okay. Missed one. Mackenzie. Doop. Okay, so that's Mackenzie. Now... I don't want Ansley to be a hostile mob, because I think that wouldn't fit him. A part of me wants to have him be something like a chicken, or like maybe like a sheep or something. Right, with Ansley, I was thinking of actually making him a wolf. Because I'm thinking that, like, that... Yeah, I feel like Ansley fits being a wolf. Because it is kind of like he would end up being... Like, he's always been sort of like the companion. In the entire story, he's always just, like... Mackenzie's dog, but not in a bad way, basically. Like, people always say the phrase of, like, being someone's dog is, like, a bad thing, but for this situation, it would be, like, he's the doggo. He is the pet dog. He is, like, not a pet in a bad way, but more in how he's just, like, very faithful. He's a very faithful companion to Mackenzie, and I feel like that fits Ansley very well, so I'm going to make him a wolf. Except that he's gone aggressive to go and attack some stuff that's nearby. I'd appreciate it if you didn't, like, just run off like that. That'd be great. Let's see. If I make a pit, then they can't run. Probably. Will he run if I do this? No. He won't. Great. Okay. Let's get some bones so that he doesn't run off. This one, I'm like this. Okay, so let's do this. You suck. I killed them both on accident. That's fine, whatever. No point in worrying about it. Let's just put this back. Boop. Now let's do T. Set the time again. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, Ansley suits being a dog, I think. Okay. Boop. Nope, sit. There we go. Ta-da! Now that's all of them. We got Virgil, we got Deceit, we got Patton, we got Logan. We got Roman. Do what? What? What's happening? There's Mackenzie and there's Ansley. Oh, the colored collar? Can you change the color of the collar? Is that a thing that you could do before? What do you do? Do you give them like a bit of dye or something? Let's see. I didn't know you could do that. What color should we give him? I don't know what color Ansley would be. Maybe like a mint green? Or like lime, which is the closest. Should we do green or another color? Or maybe like, I don't know. Ansley feels weirdly like a gray or a white sort of color. You know what, actually, I think that it fits for Ansley to have a gray collar, even though it like blends in with him being a white dog. I don't want it to be black. I want it to just be gray. Yeah, the light gray one that I did before. Yeah, I think light gray fits. Yeah. It's kind of what I was feeling. That's why I was like, I don't know if it would be another kind of color, just because I feel like Ansley and being loneliness and all that fits him being very gray, and like a very light coat of sort of gray, almost like white. Yeah. There we go. That's all of them except for Thomas, which is the only one missing. Would Thomas be something else? A sheep? Why sheep? Fair. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's also the wrong one. Don't do that. I was kind of also considering a sheep, just because of the fluffiness. But you know what I was also thinking? Polar bear. Just because they're soft and they're large, and they can be aggressive, but they usually won't be, which is kind of fitting to my version of Thomas in the stories. So let's see, we'll put it up to a vote of polar bear or sheep. Okay, so what do you think would be Thomas? We got sheep? Nope. Sheep or polar bear? What you think? Yes, spin. Alright, polar bear it is. This one's gonna have to die though, because I don't want to have to drag it all the way over there. Sorry. No, come back. Whoa, you run fast. No, come back. Oh my god. Come back. Why are you so quick? Jeez. It's so weird that they drop fish. I'm also going to kill you because I spawned you unnaturally, so you can't be allowed to continue living. Did that cook the fish? No, it didn't. That would have been much cooler if they did. Okay. But yeah, polar bear it is. I agree. Boop. Alright, so let's do... He has to have a large one. This is gonna be a grown polar bear, so we're gonna make it 3 wide. These polar bears are large. Okay, so... Doop 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 doop. Doop doop doop. Doop doop doop. Oop. Oh, wrong one. No, do that. Okay. Let's do that. I feel like we need to make this one back one. That's a true point, though, imagining the hugs. I imagine it would be the softest thing in the world. it's dying. My bad, I put you in the wall. I put you in the wall too, for Pete's sake. Stop it. There. Bam. There's Thomas. Okay, let me kill these ones first, and then I will name him. Where'd the other one go? What? That's a sheep. There it is. Boop. Okay. Alright. Now, here's the anvil. Okay. To Miss Thomas. Okay. Da-na-na-ba. Oh my god, this is great. Okay. I definitely have to use them in the actual, like, map now. I have to, like, put them somewhere. Maybe that's like a side quest, is that you have to find all of them. And they'd be in, like, different zones. Right? It's the entire, like, group. The whole fam's here together. Alright, so, going down the list. We got Virgil, the Enderman. Sup. We got Deceit, the Creeper. No, don't. Why? Come back. Why would you let me? Turn around. Hello. Deceit, the Creeper. Awesome. We have Patton, the Iron Golem. He's just staring over there. I wish that he would hold a flower out, but there isn't a villager here to hold a flower out to. We have Logan, the cat. Logan. Logan. Logan, turn this way. Logan. Logan. Logan, don't ignore me. Look at me. There we go. Logan, the cat. Who's very small. We have Roman, the llama, who's in a wall. Roman, turn around. Roman. 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 Turn around. Look at me. Please. I need your attention. Look this way. Roman! Why? You're not even on the other side. Hang on. If I get the lead. Look at me. Roman. No, come back. Roman. Look this way. Roman! Look at me! Why? Turn around! I'm trying to be cinematic. You're the worst. Roman, the headless llama. Fine. Bye. Mackenzie, who's turned away. The pigman. Oh. Oh. No. They're just looking at each other through the wall. Okay, fair. Bye. Ansley, the wolf. And Thomas, the polar bear. Who's also in the wall. Why is everyone looking away from me? Why won't you look at me? Thank you, Ansley. You too, Mackenzie. You looked at me for a second. I appreciate that. There we go. Okay. Da-na-na-na. And that's all of them. That was fun. That was very pleasing. I'm not even gonna get rid of them. I'm just gonna leave them here. This is just where they're gonna live from now on. I don't want to leave them either. Let me see something. I'm just gonna toss these in here. I can always pull them back out. Alright, so I need a material. Let's do the ridiculous thing and make it out of bedrock, because why not? And go down here, take that, and we go over here. No. It wouldn't be there. Here. And grab this. If I do this, yeah, it's just gonna mark it as a part of the map. Which way is that? So let's grab a ton of these. We're gonna do something fun. I like a lot of music, so it's kind of hard to say. I like Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is a pretty classic one. I know a lot of his songs and everything by heart. I'm sorry. Nickelback's pretty great. Despite how much everyone makes fun of Nickelback, I really like Nickelback, actually. Let's see, I'm gonna put this... Just get rid of this area here. This is just gonna be the testing grounds, I think. Yeah, I've decided this is what's gonna be my testing area. I'm gonna make a map here. But yeah, I like Nickelback. Nickelback's fun. 3 Days Grace. That's pretty great. Just get rid of that. I don't have a lot of favorites. Just because I listen to a lot of music, so it's hard to say. But yeah, I think if I were to choose, some of it would end up being stuff like Nickelback and Bruno Mars and everything. Elvis is good. Elvis is good. Yeah, that's really all I can think of. TBH. I'm not very good at keeping track of things like that. I can tell you what my favorite anime is, though. And that one is what the soundtrack is coming from, which is Natsume's Book of Friends, or Natsume Yujincho, which is amazing. Do I want to put this here? It stretches all the way over here. I might as well. Okay, we'll do this. We missed some spots. Boop, 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 boop. I'll just walk it. No. Oh. Don't do that. Never seen... Oh, Natsume's Book of Friends. Yeah, a lot of people haven't, so I'm not surprised. Just because it's like, it's not because it's not good. I think it's just because it's kind of like a quiet, like, shoujo anime that people haven't started. Yeah, fair. It's also, like, it's very much a slice of life. So it's like, not a lot happens by way of things happening. Like, really. It's not a very action-y kind of anime. Although there are, like, fights and things and exciting stuff does happen, it's mostly just supposed to be about, like, character development. But yeah, I really like Natsume's Book of Friends. It's a really good series, and I would definitely recommend it to literally anyone. But it's one of my favorites, and I mentioned this in the last live stream. I don't know if anyone was around for that or if anyone saw the afterwards of it, but I used this music that we're listening to right now, specifically this actual video. I was watching that while working on what's it? A Night's Solemn Duty and This Is How It Ends. When I was doing both of those, I was just listening to this over and over again. And that's actually what caused me to make them, I think. I started writing angst for the Cap universe because I was listening to this, and it made me feel like I wanted to just write something that was kind of angsty, which is what brought upon, like, the scene of Virgil fading in the first place. So yeah, interesting little fun fact about that. I don't have a lot of favorite things. I have a favorite food. I like chicken Alfredo. That's a favorite food. Yeah. I give, like, delayed reactions to stuff that's happening in the chat. Like, takes a second for me to see what's happening. Okay, so we're gonna do this. It's very quickly clicking. Ah! Yeah, it's all on a bit of a delay. Clicking. Ah! My hand. Spam click. Jeez. I'm past the cloud limit. That's nice. I'm not gonna do that again because that was exhausting. Any other questions or interesting things you want to talk about? I have nothing specific. Oh, wait. Hang on for 1 second. I'm gonna mute myself. Turns out there's a person at my house. You can think of a question. I will BRB. Literally, I'm going to put up the BRB screen and I'll be back in like a second. We're switching that to that. So I will be back in like a second. I'm gonna go because there's someone here and my mom wants me to be introduced to them. So give me 1 second. I will be back in a few minutes. For now, listen to some really nice music from the soundtrack, or I can switch to something slightly more interesting, I guess. Nah, you can just listen to this. Listen to this for a bit. Appreciate the sound of this soundtrack for a bit. I'll be back in a sec. Yeah, alright, so BRB. Okay. Well, I'm back. How long was I gone? I feel like it wasn't that long, but I was away for a bit. Did you think of a question, friend? Also, how's the camera view looking? The light's in there. I don't want the light in the view, but it's getting dark. Alright, that's fine. Cool. So what'd you think of Blip? Get back to what we were doing. Alright, I gotta put this back. Put my phone back to where it was. You scoot your boot. That's a hard question. I've seen a lot. I don't really like the headcanons where it's basically turning Virgil into like the weakling, basically, because a lot of people do this in fanfics, and I've noticed this a lot, and it's kind of annoying, just because they make him seem like he's, like, the baby of the group, and not because he's, like, the youngest, but more because he's, like, the weakest. And I feel like that's, like, a dumb way of thinking of things. I don't know. It's not really that it's a dumb way. I completely respect that people feel that way about it, and, like, it's fair enough that you want to, like, see it that way. And that's pretty chill. Good on you for, like, thinking that way and everything. But it's one of those things where it's like, I don't feel like that suits Virgil as a character. So I don't really like the headcanons just in general where Virgil is really the weakling and he's not able to handle a lot of things. Because, I mean, fair enough that he's got, like, difficulties dealing with emotions and stuff, or, like, really more specifically that he's got difficulties dealing with his own, like, need to protect Thomas, basically. But I feel like when it comes to Virgil, it's less that he's, like, dumb or anything, or that he's the weakling, because really, Virgil, in my mind, in the way that I've seen it, is that he's, like, the common sense. In even just, like, in the videos and everything. He's definitely the common sense of the group, and I feel like that's very, like, prevalent. And some people don't really have that. In some of their headcanons, they usually just make him, like, kind of, not really ditzy, but a little out of it. And, like, I don't know. They put him in a different light that I don't really enjoy as much. So those are the ones I least like, I guess. And the ones that are, like, my favorites, I think I really like the ones where it's just, like, Virgil and Patton are best friends, but I think my favorite specific headcanon that I remember is, the Boop War one, because that was actually, like, that's where the original series came from, was someone's headcanon of Virgil and Patton being in a Boop War. I don't remember what the post was specifically. Actually, wait, hold on, I can actually find the post. If you give me a second to, like, look on Tumblr and everything, I can find it. Okay. Just gonna see me wandering through here real fast, hang on. I have to go to here, and if we go down a ways, if we find the master post, and we go to the Great Boop War in part 1. I think I put it in there as the link. No, shoot. Man. Woofles made, like, a list of headcanons, and I don't remember where it was. Dang, but yeah, Woofles made like some Mogxiety headcanons that I thought were really cute, and one of them was that they were in like a constant boop war, and I thought that that was just adorable, and I loved that headcanon, which is why I made the boop war in the first place. So I think that's probably my favorite one, just because of what it instigated and because it was really fun. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. If you've got any more, feel free to ask, or if you have any opinions on me feeling that way, go ahead and feel free to talk about that. Man, I really love the music that's just on this. It's very, like, relaxing and soft. Yeah, any opinions on, like, headcanons of your own? Any favorites? Any cool ones? Any differing opinions for how I felt about the headcanons I mentioned? This is true. It really is a thing that happens a little too often, in my opinion. Where they just make Virgil super weak in headcanons. Oh, and by the way, real quick mention, like, whether you're typing or not, like, just wanted to mention this. Don't worry if I'm just sitting here silently. That's mostly just because I have nothing specific to say. So you can, like, have me say something by asking a question or saying something in the chat at any time. I'm just being here silent because I have nothing else to say. Yeah, they do end up doing that a lot, where they make Roman seem like a jerk. And I think the most I did that personally was in the Will universe, or at the very beginning of the Cap universe, in How Thomas Met Anxiety, where Roman was like getting really angry about it. But I think it's mostly because Roman is very impulsive, and Roman, he has like his own specific sense of comprehension. Yeah, he like thinks of things in a different light than a lot of the others do. And I think the thing about Roman is that it's not that he's dumb, it's not that he's like mean or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It's not even that he's like annoying or that he's irritating or anything. It's just that Roman specifically, like the way that his personality works, makes him, like, quick to react, whether it's in a good way or a bad way, and, like, he thinks of things in such a strange light sometimes that it seems really confusing to other people, and that it makes it seem like he's acting strange. So it is, like, with the situation with anxiety in the beginning, with, like, why he got so angry and how Thomas met anxiety, is because Roman just didn't understand anxiety. Like, at that point, he's met anxiety, he's known him for, like, a year at this point, and he knows that, like, anxiety and Patton are friends, that they hang out, that Patton really likes anxiety. Well, they don't know that they're friends, but he knows that Patton really likes anxiety. He knows that anxiety is not, like, mean exactly. He knows that anxiety is kind of aggressive, but he's still trying to, like, help Thomas, and he, like, has actually seen some good parts of anxiety. Like, he's chilled out on the couch before. They mention in that chapter where it's just, like, Logan saw Roman hanging out with anxiety in the common area before, and Roman saw Logan, like, pet his hair before. And, like, they've hung out. Roman has hung out with anxiety, but he still gets angry about it just because he doesn't understand. And I think that's the thing, is that Roman kind of freaks out a lot. Roman overreacts. Roman is dramatic. Roman is impulsive. Roman is not mean or crazy or dumb. Roman is just Roman. Roman tends to overreact a little without meaning to, and it usually comes out, especially if he's, like, confused, it comes out sometimes in an aggressive kind of way that doesn't seem very nice. So it's not that he's trying to be mean or that he's actually mean, it's just that he has, like, he's upset, so he becomes upset. That's just it. It's not that he's mean, he's just upset. I think, like, that's the best way I can describe it. So yeah, I don't really agree with those headcanons either, where they make Roman into, like, a jerk. Because Roman's not a jerk. Roman is just confused sometimes, I think. Yeah, Roman is just upset sometimes, and that's all. Like, he's just a very loud person. Like, my sister's like that sometimes, where she gets, or my mom. A lot of my family is filled with, extroverts, and I'm kind of one too, in a way, but it is one of those things where it's like, sometimes you just get upset, and it comes off as you being mean, or as you being, like, aggressive, and you don't mean to come out that way. That's not what you want to project, but that's what ends up being projected because you're upset, or because you're excited, or because you're very passionate about something. So it comes off as you being a jerk, but you're not trying to be a jerk, it's just what's kind of coming out of you. Like, the intent there is just you want to get a point across, basically. It's like you want people to understand that you're upset. Like, you want to make sure it's visible, so it ends up becoming this loud spectacle that makes it seem like you're being a lot more aggressive and mean than you actually intend to be. So yeah. Just quietly placing bedrock forever. I'm glad you agree and that what I just said made sense. This is gonna take so long. Music-related headcanons are pretty great. I think there was, a fic I read or something. Oh, that would be cool. I imagine that Roman would play a lot of instruments. I haven't really mentioned this, but in, like, my universe... Nice. Yeah, fitting that Roman would end up playing the flute for all that reasons. Yeah, but, in the Cap universe, I never really mentioned this yet. I intend to eventually, but, Roman, similar to Virgil, can play basically any instrument just because he learned. Because he felt like it would be fun to learn different ones, and of course he learned specific ones first. that were like basically to do things like Disney covers and everything. So he learned like the flute and the piano and stuff like that, and like classic instruments that you would learn for things like that. But he also learned a lot of other instruments. So I want to eventually do a fic where it's like Roman and Virgil kind of like battling. Basically, it's how everyone finds out that Virgil can also play any instrument, and it's like Roman and Virgil get into like a fight to see who is like the most capable with instruments, and it turns out that neither of them are better than the other, and they're like the equivalent, so it ends up becoming like a tie. And they kind of just agree to be in like a mutual sort of state of being with each other, and it's pretty great. That's just a thing I imagined in my head. And I do very much like the little headcanon that I have where it's like Virgil controlling all of the strings in the Mindscape and everything. I still really like that one. That's probably, if I had to choose a favorite, like, that's maybe a bias because of you accept, great, happy to hear it, but that's maybe a bias on like it's my own thing and everything. But I love the idea of like Virgil playing the music and everything on various instruments in order to like do all the strings. Oh, the string scene? I honestly thought it was very beautiful. I tried very hard to make the description as good as I could. Like, I can never really tell when I write things if it's coming across the way that I want it to come across, but in my head, the entire scene was gorgeous. So, I hope that I did actually manage to get all of that across properly. That's how it always was with writing, like, literally anything. I'm always concerned about it, where it's like, I hope that in the process of me trying to create, like, the scene that I imagined, that it actually is what I imagined, and that it's just as, like, beautiful and amazing and glorious as it was in my head. And it's one of those things where it's like, I wish that I was able to do art, because it would be the best thing if I could actually show people everything, but that's why it's kind of like, I hope that I can compensate with words somehow. Since I can't actually make a visual myself, I hope that I can make one in someone's head, just by, like, giving the idea well enough that you can see it in your mind's eye. There we go. That's the right spot. Nice. I tried learning how to draw a little bit. I'm decent at drawing figures, but I'm not very good at drawing, like, details. Nice! That's a good mission to have. Logan with slick back hair is a nice image. It suits him very well. I feel like that's always what I imagined in my head as well, that Logan would have slick back hair. One day I'll finish this wall of bedrock. Man, you know when I was building that, like, wall earlier, the ginormous monster wall? Just a quick mention of this is that when I was building that wall, a couple of times I would fall off. And I would be filled with, like, terror. For no reason. Just because, like, I won't die if I fall. Like, I can fall right now and I'll be just fine. But I was still filled with terror, just because in my head, I was just like, this is when I die, as soon as I would fall off. And I was like, I know that I'm not going to, but it feels like I'm going to, and that really sucks. The language and teacher ones? I know about the language ones, but what do you mean about the teacher ones? loud. Oh. Yeah. I love the headcanon where Virgil teaches Logan about memes. Like, I don't know if that's relevant to what you just said, but, like, I love that headcanon so much. You have no idea. Like, that's why the Dab War happened, because I felt like that was such a great idea. That made me so happy to think of. Nice. But yeah, those ones are cool too. I do like the idea that they end up teaching. It's kind of like, in the Librarians AU, where everyone kind of takes on various kinds of, like, teaching positions, basically. And, like, in there, Roman is basically, like, a fine arts teacher, and I love that so much. Like, I can imagine him just, like, taking on all of these students and being like, now we're gonna learn how to be fabulous, and I'm going to make sure that you feel fabulous while we do it. And it's, like, I can just imagine him teaching all of these kids and, like, all these people how to, like, sing and dance and play instruments and be, like, really good actors and stuff, and he'll be so excited about it. And, like, get everyone super pumped about it. And, like, Patton teaching cooking classes, I could see that happening. That would be adorable. He would be so excited. He would get everyone really excited about cooking. I could see that happening. I would be so happy to have Patton as a cooking teacher. That would be amazing. I feel like Deceit would end up joining Roman. He would, like, teach those kinds of things. Or you know what, actually, I'm thinking now in, like, a real-life scenario where they're all actually teachers in some capacity, and I mean, like, Deceit would be the best, like, makeup artist teacher. Can you imagine that? That would be the best thing. Like, not even just, like, normal makeup or just show makeup. He would do both. Like, it's normal makeup for everyday stuff, but also he would be, like, theatrical makeup and everything, where you have to do, like, the serious monster makeup and everything. That would be so cool. But yeah, I can see everyone, like, teaching specific subjects. What would Virgil teach? Virgil would probably do something like a mythology course. I'm, like, thinking of them as, like, college professors now. And I feel like Virgil would probably end up doing something like mythology or, maybe psychology. Random stuff like that. I feel like he would do things like that. Maybe astrology or astronomy. One of the two. Or, like, some kind of cultural kind of class, I feel, is what Virgil would end up doing. Whereas, like, Logan would end up doing things like, serious academic courses, like math and sciences and things like that. And, like, English language ones. But Virgil would do a lot of culture teaching stuff. Am I almost there yet? It's so far away. They just end up, like, knowing various languages and everything. I really imagine, especially after they find out that Roman can just somehow speak Spanish, that everyone else would end up learning too. I love, there was either a fic or a headcanon, I don't remember what it was, but it was like, it was literally that, where it was like Roman started off knowing Spanish, and then in return, Logan learned Spanish so that he would understand what Roman was saying. And Virgil also learned Spanish because Virgil was paranoid about it, and he was like, I don't like not knowing what everyone's saying. And like Patton learned a little bit on the side just so that he would know. And then Logan started learning like Latin so that he could start saying stuff to Roman. So Roman had to learn Latin, and Virgil learned Latin as well because he was like, now I have to know this too. And everyone just slowly, like, Roman and Logan kept learning new languages, and like Virgil had to know them too so that he would understand what either of them was saying, and Patton would kind of just sit along and be like learning random phrases here and there just so that he could understand certain things. But yeah, I like read that somewhere, I don't remember where, but I really liked that idea. Ugh, this wall. Okay, I don't think I need to finish it right now. I'm not gonna finish it right now because it's huge. Yes, yes. I love, there was, it's the headcanon idea where it's like, Roman learns how to sing Despacito just so that sometimes he can like reference the meme where it's like Virgil or even Logan will just be like, oh, that's so sad, Alexa, play Despacito, and Roman will literally just sing the song in return. Ah, it's raining. We're gonna ignore that. Alright, and we want this just in the middle somewhere. We'll actually put it, like, mirror. Blep. Okay. Boop. Alright. So, we'll do one. Actually, wait. Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. Me. Go over this way. And now we'll do another empty map. No, we didn't need that. Whoops. Let's put that there. Okay, so we're gonna map out all of this area. Nice. Yeah, I can see that happening. Wait, is that map updated? I don't know. It should just update on its own. My Spanish teacher never did anything that fun. She was never interested in stuff like that. It's this one, right? Yes. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Don't do that. Okay, so we want to go this way. Now we do this one. We go this way to get this covered. Okay. I don't actually know which way leads back to where the walls are. So we're gonna find it eventually. Okay. So this is right in front of this. Heck. Oh man, random thing here. Thought I'd mention this real fast, because I'm getting a lot of notifications. So, for some weird reason, everyone's suddenly noticing, oh, lag. God. Stop it. Everyone's, like, noticing the, what's it, the marriage proposal post, the, like, hey, romance for once post that I did a while ago. And someone added random slasher. Yeah, the romance snippet. And someone added random slasher. And I was like, what is wrong with you? My brain instantly kind of like crashed and was just like, please don't, like, also please don't let them notice this, because I was so concerned that if they did notice it, like, it would just end badly for my brain. I don't know why. There's no serious, like, specific reason, but it's a bit like how, is that the right one? That is the right one. Yes. But, it's like how when I made that post about the dating sim for, Fangirl to the Fullest, and, like, Tashi found the post and, like, sent me a message, and I was in so much distress just because I was just like, what? You weren't supposed to see that. You weren't supposed to know this existed. And it's like, I'm all for being like, oh, even if you're like a fan of another Tumblr user or anything, we're all still just like creators and fans of Thomas, and we're all here for similar reasons, just to enjoy stuff. But also, though, like, so much quiet distress when someone I really like on Tumblr kind of just appears before, like, for no real reason, is just kind of there, and it's just like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, no, why are you here? You're not supposed to be here. Okay, so we're going to go back that way. But yeah, just thought I'd mention that. I was moderately distressed because someone added Random Slasher, and I don't know if Random Slasher's seen it or not, but like, quiet distress, man. Quiet distress. Also a lot of confusion. Like, why is everyone suddenly looking at it again? It happened a while ago. I mean, I'm working on it now, but there should be nothing that really instigated suddenly, like, coming up again. Yeah, seriously. It is. It's a lot like that. Where it is kind of like, I kind of do want them to notice, like, the cool things I'm doing. And, like, that's always the case with a lot of things, too. It's just, like, I want them to notice, but also I don't. Please don't. Like, it is. It's a lot of really, like, conflicting feelings. Actually, you know what I can get? In order to figure out what direction it is, it's in this direction. So I'm going in the right way. This will eventually lead me towards everything. And then I can make maps from there. Okay, so this is... Whoops. That one. Boop. Oh, shoot. I needed that one. Alright. If we go away with that one... yeah. Just quietly making a giant map in the middle of nowhere. Seriously though, I just got another notification. Why is everyone suddenly acknowledging that post again? Not that I have anything against that post, but it is kind of like... I don't know. It's weird. Everyone's just acknowledging that one specifically. It's another one. Why is everyone seeing that one again? What happened? Who reblogged this that caused everyone to look at it again? Need maybe like a rail system that leads all the way back to this. I suppose I could make one that like goes along with me. At least then I won't have to worry about like getting lost or something. Maybe I will do that. You know what? Why not? Alright, let's do that. Let's move everything over here. Powered rails, normal rails. You can worry about the minecart afterwards. We're gonna need this. Boop. Let's see, where is the block that this is on? It's specifically this one. Or actually we can go from back here. Whoa! Fell. Oh. Message retracted. What happened? Boop. Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. Boop, boop. Oh my god, I just got like 3 notifications all in 1 second. Stop noticing me. I don't know about those ones. Like, sometimes they're cool, but it kind of depends. I'm very iffy when it comes to having, like, characters suddenly get pets and things. Oh. fine. Fair enough. Sorry for acknowledging your error and causing you more initial distress. But yeah, I'm always kind of iffy when it comes to, any character in Fix having pets and stuff, just because I don't want it to kind of, like, retract from things. You know what I could have done? I should have made this out of barrier blocks. Can I do that? Can I summon a barrier block? Is that a thing that I can do? Slash give me... Oh. Ah, what? What do you mean? I misspelled my own name. That's not what I meant. Do I have one? Wait, where? What? Oh, I have one. I do have one. Oh, man. Oh, I could have made these out of barrier blocks. Oh, that would have been neat. Shoot. Oh. I can still make them out of barrier blocks, though. Where? Oof. Oof. No, I can't see. Shoot. A mistake was made. Ah. Okay, so let's do that there. This is disorienting. Okay. We're gonna do it like this. Because I think it'd be fun. Okay. Okay. I can't see. Oop, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. Ah, that's the problem with barrier blocks. Maybe I'll replace them eventually one day. But I think we'll leave it like this for now. Okay. But yeah, the pets thing. So it's like, I don't know, it's weird. It depends kind of on, like, the pets. Because sometimes, like, they make really good pets. People make them in Fix and stuff. Ooh! Ah. So what, you mean like the Avengers specifically and like the rest outside of that? What specifically do you mean? Because this could mean a lot of different things. Because I can be real specific about this. Oh. Yeah. Oh, am I back at the wall? I'm back at the wall. Hey. Nice. Neat. Basically just my opinion on the MCU. Okay, so just rambling about it. Fair, fair. Okay, so I guess I have a lot of opinions on the MCU. Oh man, I don't know where to start. Ooh, actually no. You know what? We'll start off with this. And this is probably obvious from my fic, but, like, I really wish that things had turned out a little bit differently with, like, Loki. Also, I wish that things had turned out a little bit differently with, like, Tony as well. mostly, okay, so this is going to be a real quick thing. Just, it's not going to be real quick, but it's going to be a very, like, wrath-filled opinion. Just because I hate the fact that they got rid of Tony's arc reactor. I quite genuinely do despise the fact that they got rid of the arc reactor. Because, like, the arc reactor was so... It was such a part of Tony that I feel like needed to still be there. That it kind of, like, it causes me a quiet amount of distress, the fact that, like, it's not there anymore. So it's basically like, I don't know, I feel like it's a part of Tony, and it bothers me that he doesn't have the arc reactor anymore. So I really did not like the most recent Iron Man. It was Iron Man 3? It's been a while since I watched it, but, like, Iron Man 3 really, like, made me upset, just in general. I was so peeved by Iron Man 3. Ah, man. Just, so much irritation about Iron Man 3. There was just so much. So very much. Okay, this is good though. I made it back to the wall. Great. Okay, so another ramble about the MCU. You know what, actually, quick ramble about, like, the actual, like, just the movies in general. So, I find it interesting, I guess, is the best way to put it, is, like, the evolution of how they decided to portray the movies and, like, all the characters and everything. Because did you know that the reason why Thor Ragnarok was a thing and it went the way that it went was actually because, what's his face? I don't remember his name, but he's the guy from, like, comic book guys. He's, like, the main host or something, and he's a big fan of the MCU and everything, but he mentioned that he really did not like, oh, that's fine. I'll probably cut the stream in a bit and start doing other things, or really just continue making this map and doing that by myself instead. But, yeah, so they they completely changed how they were going to do, like, Thor Ragnarok and, like, a lot of the movies in general, because this guy said that he didn't like the way that they were doing it before. And I find that really interesting. Like, I think that that's really neat. Yeah, I think that's super, like, neat. Just in general, I think that's a really cool fun fact about it. Is that, they changed it just because this one guy complained about it, and he was just, like, saying stuff how, like, the way that they portrayed the characters and the way that it was all arranged was just, like, it wasn't very good. I forget his specific things, but he was complaining about it and, like, publicly and everything. Oh, what? Who? No. Not Stanley. He wasn't complaining it to Stanley. Well, he was complaining to Stanley, I guess, but it wasn't Stanley. But no, it was this one guy, and he was actually, like, complaining about it, like, publicly and everything, and he said stuff about this, and, what's his face? Chris Hemsworth actually saw the complaint and was just like, that means we need to do better because we have to do this for the fans, and if the fans, like, he represents the fans, and if he doesn't like it, then that means that we have to do better. And, like, I just thought that that was, like, the most amazing thing, is that this one guy saying that he didn't like what they were doing kind of caused, like, the actor who plays Thor to be like, we can't do this, we have to redo everything now. Like, that's literally what happened, and I think that's pretty amazing. Yeah. You know what, actually, it might be a good idea to end this stream. We've been at this for how long? 3 hours. This was a 3-hour stream. That was a long stream. So you know what? On this note, now that I'm finally returned to this and I can start making the map for everything, and this is pretty out of the way, it does head towards this. So it might actually be part of the map where you can find this weird secret area where I'm gonna be messing around with stuff. So that'll be neat. But yeah, so on this end note of that really weirdly shaped little map there, I'll go to camera view. So, oh, you can see the string just chilling out there in the corner of the screen. So But yeah, on that note, I think it's quite late. It's 7:30, and there's someone still in my house, and dinner's probably gonna happen soon for me. Your phone's dying, and we've had a pretty good stream, I think, so I think now is the time to say goodbye and to end the stream on this really, like, peaceful music and everything, which I'll pause and then switch to, like, the ending music that I always end up using. But yeah, this has been fun. What do you think of us doing this on YouTube and everything? How do you think that worked out? Do you think it was a good idea to do it all on YouTube? Do you think it was a neat, like, plan? Was it better than doing it on Twitch, do you think? Do you have any opinions on that? I think at the very least, like, it worked a bit easier for me to, use the new Streamlabs overlay instead of the old OBS one. If nothing else, I have that. But, yeah. Are you still there? Do you have any opinions on that? Maybe you don't have any opinions on that. Yeah, it's hard to say. I think it went well. I think it was a decent stream. I think this was a fun time. I do like the fact that I can see the notifications, and with the, like, stream overlay and everything, you can actually see, like, the chat on the screen and everything, and I think that's pretty neat. But yeah, either on here or on, like, Discord, because I'm probably gonna go in a second. Like, tell me what you thought about doing it on YouTube and whether we should go back to using Twitch instead. Because I think it worked out fine using it on YouTube, but I don't know. And, like, the point of switching over to YouTube was to make it more easier on, like, not just me, but on YouTube. Like, the one person who really watches these streams, like, I want to make sure that it's easy for you and that you actually, like, enjoy watching the streams. Because it would be kind of dumb to, like, do these streams and then not worry about you actually having a good experience. So, I don't know, tell me what you think, if you can. Yeah, I think you ended up dropping out. That's fine. If you end up, like, watching back this last bit, I'll at least mention something on Discord to ask you about it. But, yeah, for anyone who's watched this, I hope you had a good time. I think this was a fun stream. It was a good time. I had a good time. I think it was great. So, I was 3 hours long. I'm tired. It's late. I'm hungry. I gotta go do stuff. So, I'm gonna go. This has been fun. I will go to the song that we will use as the usual sort of ending music, if I can get over to it, which will take me a hot second. Let's try and, like, skip that ad. Nope. Don't do that. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, this has been fun. I've had a good time. I think this has been pretty neat. I'm gonna take off my headphones because we don't need those on right now. But yeah, I think this has been a good time. I think this has been fun. This was a good stream. I've rearranged some things so that it's easier. I think that the lamp here and me actually sitting in this position where I'm closer to my mic, I haven't listened to the audio properly, but I think it might be better this way. So hopefully I'm right and it does sound better. So yeah, hopefully it'll make the stream, be a bit nicer and more pleasant to listen to and watch and everything. So hopefully the streams will get better over time. I'm probably gonna be streaming me messing around with this adventure map in Minecraft for a while, because I'm going to be messing around with this adventure map in Minecraft for a while, and it's a decent thing to do in the background while I, like, answer questions and have conversations. I have these 2 barrettes that were once in my hair attached to my shirt because I wanted to take them off earlier. But yeah, this has been fun. Leave opinions and things, I guess, in comments if you watch this later on, since you didn't watch it live. I'll ask on the Discord server about whether this was better than using Twitch, or if it was worse, if we want to change back, or if we want to keep it as it is. And hopefully there won't be any problems with me actually putting this up on YouTube and leaving it there as a full-on stream, and maybe cutting it to bits so that it can be seen as a proper, like, highlights video or something. Maybe. I'd have to look through all 3 hours of footage, so I don't know. We'll see about that, maybe. At least it'd be easier since I only do it once or twice a week. But yeah, also another thought, I'm going to maybe do live streams on Wednesdays as well as Fridays, so that's pretty neat. We'll see about that, and if it's more interesting, maybe I'll get better at talking. I think I did a better job this time than I did last time, so that's pretty cool. But we'll see what happens. Also, maybe I'll do Let's Plays. I was thinking of doing that, actually playing other video games and trying hard to talk about stuff. And reviews of things I was considering doing, so lots of new content. That's pretty neat. I did a video. That's pretty cool. That was my sleepy adventure of when I tried to do a vlog at 8 o'clock in the morning with no sleep, which was not a good idea, but it's what happened anyways. There's a part 2 of that, surprisingly. That's going to come out sometime soonish, so it's probably going to happen sometime next week. So, because I'm slow, and that's what ends up happening when you're slow. Or I'll put it up sometime on like Monday or something, because I don't do things on weekends, so we'll see what happens. Regardless, this has been fun. It's been 3 hours. It's time for us to go, because it's nearing on 3.5 hours. So I'm gonna go. I hope you had a good time. I hope this was fun for you as much as it was fun for me. I hope that you don't mind my awkwardness and how difficult it was for me to do all of this. I hope you don't mind the beginning 20 minutes of me trying really hard to make things work and then things not working. And hopefully things will be easier as time goes on and the streams get better quality as time goes on as well. That'd be nice. But yeah. On that note, I'll go now. I've been talking too long. Sorry. Have a nice day. I will talk to you in the next live stream or the next video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Until then, I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Do you know the way back to other days when my heart was innocent? I cashed it in for pocket change, lost my way with nothing gained. I've been singing songs and I've been working hard, trying to catch a shooting star, but everything is foreign here, clouded up and full of fear. Just take me home. My way with nothing gained. And I've been on my own and I've been so cold, trying to rid myself of needing your love, but everything is foreign here, clouded up and full of fear. Just take me home. take me home.
Once you